The Kuiper Belt is a region outside most of the planets of the solar system. There is a space outside of most of the planets in the solar system called the Kuiper Belt. The first object found in the Kuiper Belt was Pluto. It took about 60 years to find any more. The first time people saw something from the Kuiper Belt was on November 2nd, 2015. It used to be one of the most interesting pictures ever taken from space, but now that's changed. There has never been a clearer picture of the Kuiper Belt than the one that was just taken by the James Webb Telescope. There is a cold donut-shaped area called the Kuiper Belt in the outer solar system. It is farther away from the Sun than Neptune, which is the 8th planet from the Sun. It was first interesting because of its shape, but then it became clear that this would be one of the most interesting things about Earth. The Kuiper Belt is named for the scientist Gerard Kuiper, whose work in the middle of the 20th century helped us understand the area beyond Pluto, but he wasn't the one who found it. Kuiper wrote a scientific paper in 1951 that made guesses about the possibility of things beyond Pluto. Kuiper's study was mostly about the idea that there might be objects beyond Pluto. It didn't go into specifics about what those objects would be like or how they would be arranged in this area, though at first Pluto was thought to be the main feature of the Kuiper Belt. However, it is now known that Neptune's orbit, not Pluto's, sets the inner edge of the belt. The gravitational pull of Neptune has been very important in shaping how the Kuiper Belt moves. Astronomers knew about Kuiper's groundbreaking ideas and contributions, even though his statements did not exactly match up with what was seen in the Kuiper Belt. After some time, the idea of the Kuiper Belt and the things beyond Pluto that are connected to it became linked to Gerard Kuiper. The first person to find Pluto was the scientist Clyde Tomore in 1930. He found it in what is now called the Kuiper Belt. At the time of its finding, astronomers didn't know much about the outer solar system and didn't think there would be so many icy worlds beyond Neptune. Most people thought that the solar system was made up of gas giants, hard planets in the middle, and Neptune, an icy giant at the very edge. Scientists at the time thought Pluto was a single planet, even though its orbit was irregular and tilted. The second Kuiper Belt object wasn't found until 1992, 62 years after the first one. At this point, it was clear that Pluto was not a separate object, but rather a member of a larger group of objects in the outer solar system. After that, many KBOs were found, which proved the presence of the Kuiper Belt, a region beyond Neptune that is home to a variety of icy worlds. Pluto has a special place in the history of astronomy because it was first called the 9th planet, a name that stuck for many years. However, as we learned more about the Kuiper Belt and found more KBOs, especially bigger than Pluto, the International Astronomical Union changed the rules for what makes a body a planet. In 2006, Pluto is now known as a dwarf planet, but it will always be remembered as one of the most important finds in our solar system. Without it, we would not have looked into the Kuiper Belt area as much as we do now. This one-of-a-kind place is thought to be an extension of our solar system because it is in the same spot in space and is affected by the Sun's gravity. The 8 major planets plus Neptune make up the inner solar system. The Kuiper Belt, on the other hand, goes all the way to the edge of the solar system. The outer solar system is different from the inner solar system. It is made up of icy objects like comets, asteroids, and dwarf planets. NASA says that the stuff in the Kuiper Belt is thought to be leftovers from the early solar system, which is about 4.6 billion years ago. It is thought to have kept conditions and materials from that time. It's like seeing history happen right now. Pluto and its moons are in this belt, along with Haumea, Makemake, and Eris, which are all dwarf planets. Besides that, the Kuiper Belt is also home to many different kinds of smaller icy things. This is a unique part of the solar system that we don't see very often. The Kuiper Belt is a lot bigger than the main belt of asteroids. The main asteroid belt is made up of mostly asteroids and other rocks that are in the space between Mars and Jupiter. It's not too thick and has a lot of small to medium-sized bodies in it. The Kuiper Belt, on the other hand, is a bigger and farther away area. This means that the Kuiper Belt has 20 to 100 times more mass than the asteroid belt. This means that the Kuiper Belt has a larger amount of matter, both in terms of the number of objects and their total weight. That's one reason why it was so surprising that it took so long to find out about this remarkable region of space. Despite being a significant and fascinating part of the solar system, the Kuiper Belt remained undiscovered for a surprisingly long time. The delay in identifying it can be attributed to various factors, such as the vastness of space, the limitations of early astronomical tools, and the difficulty of observing such distant and faint objects from Earth. However, the fact that this area of the solar system wasn't immediately found or studied doesn't diminish its importance or the key role it plays in our understanding of the cosmos. This extraordinary region is home to a diverse array of celestial bodies, which vary widely in size, composition, and behavior. Among the most notable inhabitants of the Kuiper Belt are several small planets or dwarf planets, such as Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. These objects are not only scientifically intriguing, but also critical to shaping our knowledge of the early solar system and its formation. For example, Pluto, the first of these dwarf planets to be discovered, was found by astronomer Clyde Tombaugh in 1930. At the time of its discovery, Pluto was celebrated as the 9th planet in our solar system and was widely regarded as a key celestial body. Its orbit, however, stood out for being somewhat unusual, with a significant tilt and an elliptical shape that differed from the nearly circular orbits of the 8 other planets. For decades, Pluto retained its status as the 9th planet, becoming a well-known feature of both scientific literature and popular culture. However, as technology improved and astronomers were able to observe more of the outer solar system, it became increasingly clear that Pluto was not alone in its region of space. In 1992, the discovery of another Kuiper Belt object, KBO, marked the beginning of a new era in astronomy, as scientists realized that Pluto was part of a much larger collection of objects located beyond Neptune. This discovery challenged the long-held view of Pluto as a singular, isolated planet and revealed the existence of a whole region of icy bodies, marking the formal identification of the Kuiper Belt as a distinct part of the solar system. Over time, many additional KBOs were discovered, some of which rivaled Pluto in size and significance. These discoveries prompted scientists to re-evaluate the criteria for what constitutes a planet. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union (IU) introduced a new definition of planets that excluded Pluto. Under these revised criteria, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet, joining the ranks of other similar objects such as Haumea, with its rapid rotation and unique elongated shape, Makemake, notable for its brightness and lack of a significant atmosphere, and Eris, slightly smaller than Pluto, but more massive due to its density. Pluto itself measures approximately 2,377 kilometers in diameter and continues to hold a special place in the history of astronomy, as its discovery opened the door to exploring the distant reaches of the solar system. Despite its reclassification, Pluto remains an iconic celestial body, and its role in advancing our understanding of the Kuiper Belt cannot be overstated. Without the discovery of Pluto, it is possible that the existence of the Kuiper Belt might not have been recognized for much longer. This region, which is now known to contain a vast number of icy objects, represents a critical extension of our solar system, one that offers invaluable insights into its history and evolution. The Kuiper Belt is not just a collection of objects orbiting the Sun. It is a treasure trove of information about the conditions and materials that existed during the formation of the solar system over 4.6 billion years ago.